welcome to Vlogmas Day 21, and I am about to get my lunch, part of my lunch, out of the oven. I made myself some mozzarella sticks, so yummy. Someone is calling and I'm not going to answer the phone. I'm also going to make myself one of these pre-made patties with some cheese, and I'm going to toast my bread. We never answer the phone at my house because most of the time it's just telemarketers or people wanting donations that we already gave to.
Hi.
And
Yeah, I'll need it.
they never even make it through my mom's message. So they clearly didn't really want to talk to me. My bread is like that almost stale taste. So whenever our bread gets like that, it's usually towards the end. Like those are the last two pieces of bread in the bag. I think they're the last two. There might be, like, the heel is still left. And people in my house eat the heel, so we don't get rid of that or give it to the birds or anything because people eat it. But those are the last two regular pieces of bread. And it's just sort of, like, you can taste that, this is about to go stale. So I'm going to toast those, put this into the microwave. 1 minute, and then when it's at 30 seconds I'll put my cheese on there so that the cheese can melt all nicely, and by the time that happens these will be cool enough to eat. Yum. And here's my lunch, and I'm gonna watch, it's Christmas time again, Charlie Brown. I have my seltzer water in my sippy cup. Oh, that's right, 26 with a sippy cup. Are you offended? I don't care. I like my child cups, and if you have a problem with that, well, it's not your mouth and it's not your cup. But that's what I'm going to be doing for a while, and texting my significant other during this whole thing, and I'm going to eat this before it gets too cold. Wait, all winter during everything, this is the way my house is. It's really dark. Like, we have a habit of turning off all of the lights, and we tend to keep them off until it's legitimately nighttime. Sometimes it's 8 o'clock at night before we turn on lights. We turn on the Christmas lights and stuff, but oh, there's my phone going off. It's my significant other. But yeah, my house is pretty dark, and none of us really mind. We tend to turn off lights when we leave rooms. And sometimes we're all just sitting here in the dark, and other people come in and go, your house is dark. I don't know, is that weird to you guys? Do you always have lights on? Our electricity bill's probably lower than yours in that case. Just thought I'd share that. For no reason. Just to have something else on the vlog, I suppose. Charlie Brown time. I'm off to work, which I hate going to my work. If you've seen my vlogs before, you know that my work is nothing but misery for me. Certainly don't have the dream job. The little children are cute. I work at a daycare. They're cute, but I hate the guy who owns the building. He's a terrible person, and he's a pastor, and he's he's like Ebenezer Scrooge before the transformation. He needs to be visited by some ghost because he's an a-hole. And he shouldn't have reproduced, and unfortunately he didn't. Unfortunately, his spawn had another spawn. But I don't have to deal with that spawn anymore because they moved to Kentucky. I was hoping he sold the daycare to somebody else, and I wouldn't have to deal with him. But wishes don't always come true. But I'm off to work to be miserable and unhappy and probably get yelled at by a bunch of bad parents. Because my mother told me it's not nice of me to say illegitimate children because there's lots of people who weren't married when they had children and their children are good, and it's not the children's fault, it's the parents' fault when there's a bad child. It doesn't matter if it's a legitimate or illegitimate child. It's the bad parent and the bad person who unfortunately became a parent. So I have to go deal with bad parents who don't want to be called bad parents because then they get offended. I call them unpaid prostitutes. Okay, hello everyone. It's the end of Vlogmas Day 21. Nothing bad happened at work. I didn't end up having any trouble with the kids or parents today. But my one thing that kind of happened was that my boss informed me that I definitely have to work Christmas Eve. I already figured I would. But I also might have to work a 12-hour day on Christmas Eve, which is not fun. And the reason why that is my boss is trying really, really hard not to have more than 5 people. So she wants somebody to do cooking, and then she wants someone for the toddler room, which is my room, the nursery, the preschool, and the school agers. So she's trying really hard not to have more than 5 people staffed on Christmas Eve. And she also wants us to combine as soon as we can and have people leave as early as possible on Christmas Eve. So, and the reason why my day will be 12 hours is because there's only going to be me all day, and of course my room, the toddler room. I might have to come in at 6 in the morning when we open and stay until we close at 4, and then on top of that have to stay another hour and a half, 2 hours to clean everything, because that's what I do. We used to have each teacher, whoever was the second shift teacher, they cleaned their own classroom, and then they had a bathroom they had to clean, and the school age teacher had to clean the lobby. But because of recent employees just not doing their job right in the cleaning department, and my boss never had to complain to me about it, she just asked me to do it. So of course I'm going to be there to clean on Christmas Eve. I'm going to try and do it rather hurriedly, admittedly. But you do want to make sure that stuff is clean, you know, when you're not going to be there for 5 days or whatever it is. Also, I had a friend who texted me, and again, I don't know their number, and they said that, I can't remember if they said tomorrow or Wednesday, that they were going to visit me and bring me their Christmas present, but I don't know who it is because it just came up as a number because I don't have everybody's name. So I'm going to have to go through my address book here and figure out who that person is. I'm sorry that my last, the end of my vlogs tend to be just me complaining about my job when I should be thankful I have a job and stuff. But Vlogmas is real. This is how I really feel about things. And admittedly, if you just don't like your job, you tend to say it a lot. And I don't mind when people complain about their jobs to me because I can completely sympathize. So I hope that you like your job, and I hope that your job is giving you lots of time off to be with your family for the holidays, whatever holiday you may celebrate. And I will talk to you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.